We are live, episode 211, the Illini Basketball Podcast, April 7th, 2024. Nobody talk about that intro. It's fine. It'll be fixed soon, so just leave that alone. I don't know. I feel like we haven't been here in a while, but it's only been like 8 days, I guess, 7 days. So I don't know. Feels a lot longer than that.
It does feel like a while, but
yeah, the season's over. It's tough. I think one thing that I've noticed about this month and the way that the tournament is and the way that the basketball season is in college, there are a lot of people with a lot of takes, and the takes, it's getting out of control, I think, in a lot of instances. And we'll get to all that later, but it's just, it's very noticeable on social media. Very noticeable, but who knows? I don't know. I mean, it's the internet, so what can you do? But yeah, we're back. April episode, maybe the only one this month. I think it'll depend on how the portal goes. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, we might have some special, what do we call them, emergency things. I don't know.
Sure, I don't know what would really warrant that, but it depends, I guess.
This is starting off as a banger, so
We're
you guys are happy.
Start.
All right. We did do a post-game react to the UConn game, so I don't know how much we're really.
I just wanted to know if you have any thoughts looking back.
I mean, other than like what Illinois could have done to win, nothing. Not attack Klingon would have probably been good. I think they were 0 for 21 on layups. Terrence Shannon got shut down. 8 points for him to finish his career at Illinois. I don't know. It just it was a bad game, and I would like to get it out of my memory.
Fair. I would say one thought that I have is just the idea that Illinois, yes, they drove it into Klingon too much.
Yeah.
But I think a big problem was the way they drove it into him. Like, my God, none of those shots ever even had a chance.
Yeah.
They didn't give any of them a chance. Like, it's hard to score on them, but Illinois made it extremely hard.
Yeah.
And I think it was a reflection of what UConn is and what Illinois. And you know what? I'm so sick and tired of people on Twitter bitching about this UConn team. Like, my God. Like, do we have to bitch about every team? Like, I mean, they won the national championship last year. I think they can back up whatever the fuck they say. I
think if Hurley wasn't such a obnoxious prick, I think it would help.
You guys are such puss. Oh my God!
I'm just saying that's how he comes off.
That's fine.
That's how he comes off.
I understand
that is going to affect how people look at you.
Okay, but there's a complete difference.
I'm not saying he's not a genius. And he's a really good coach.
There's a complete difference between coming off like that and then coming off like that.
And not
while being 42-3 in the last 2 seasons and winning a national championship and being in the game again. Like, there's a difference. There's a lot of coaches out there that come off like that and don't coach or don't back it up. I think an example of that, I don't know if I can come up with one off the top of my head, but there's a lot of examples of that. And I don't understand why all the talk about this UConn team, who, by the way, the UConn team is extremely fun to watch. Like, if you're not playing against them and the way that they go,
yeah,
like, we talk about this team in a way that's like, man, I think we're taking them for granted in some spots. I don't know.
I guess. Yeah. Who are you rooting for? UConn or Purdue?
It's a tough one. I don't think I can.
Don't care either way.
Yeah, as a Hurley guy, it's hard to go against Hurley.
Yeah, but you keep tweeting out Big Ten.
Yeah, that's true. That's just something you do, though. Trying to pretend like you. The Purdue fans just pissed me off so much. They were like. I don't even need them to be normal, just not so psychotic. Yeah, I would say would be fine.
Yeah,
and you don't really want to give them ammunition.
Yeah, check it out. UConn did a remarkable thing and thriving after losing 3 guys to the NBA. Yeah, it's pretty impressive how good UConn is again. I don't know. Alabama shoots 50% from 3 and still loses by 14 last night. I mean. UConn's a different beast. I think they opened up as a 6.5 point favorite against Purdue, which is kind of crazy. But I mean, I could see Purdue getting beat by 20 too. So if they come out and play like they did against NC State, I think,
yeah,
back it up. So
we'll talk about this later because I don't want to turn this into the UConn.
that's true. Yeah.
I'd love to do, actually. They're way more fun than our team. I'm just kidding. 29-win season. You don't want to take that for granted. Brad gets them to an Elite Eight. I understand that they're going to be losing some major players from this team, really, no matter how you look at it, because you're already definitely gone. Shannon's definitely gone, and Quincy's gone, and Harmon was brutal for the last half of the season, but he was important in certain spots or certain parts of the season. I think Coleman's gone too. Talk about
or he's playing football, something.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think guys should. Never mind. I was gonna say take a break from Twitter, but
probably
it's all right.
Probably
do whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good season. Brad, did well again. People will question him once again for how he game planned against UConn.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that he doesn't watch other teams until they play them. So, him saying that, I haven't watched him play yet. I don't know if it's true, but Matt Painter says we have cable in West Lafayette, so we actually watch games, which I thought was interesting. So,
what makes Purdue not deserve it? According to this comment, I'd like to hear a follow up on that. Just like the takes, they're getting to me. I need this season to be over so we can take a break.
It is over.
But like college basketball season as a whole, like all these crazy takes about the national championship game already. Like what makes Purdue not deserve it? Like what? Yeah, I mean, this was the most successful season they've had since we started this podcast and since 2005.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Zach Edey, who's dropping like 30 and 20 in the tournament, is overrated. That's great. Great takes, really good takes already. You're on fire. That NBA Jam thing when somebody's on fire. My God. This is the big thing, is that the two best teams are playing in the championship game.
How often do we get that?
I think it's happened like by 5 times in the last 30 years, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
It depends on what numbers you're looking at, I guess. But I don't think there's any disputing these are the best two teams. The only one that would have ever had a case was Houston, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Sean, dude, like, why? This is the laziest take ever. Like, it's so lazy. It's just so dumb that you got to address it. I mean, 2021 was a good final. That's a good point. Baylor, Gonzaga.
Yeah.
That was, 1v1. 1v versus 1. Not as good as this one, though, because you have, number 1 offense, number 3 offense, number 4 defense, number 12 defense, high level. Illinois, good season, right? Yeah, there you go.
Great season. Got another banner to hang. I saw Terrence got a second team All-American, but
yeah,
of course you're not. That doesn't surprise me one bit.
Well, there's certain levels. I guess this one's okay. I don't know.
Okay.
I'd like to see certain levels achieved to do that, but also they had 2 teams that made to the second round or did something in the Big Ten, aka winning the Big Ten tournament or winning a co-regular season. So those 2 teams didn't have as much success as these 2 teams. I don't care what anybody says about who they played. They beat Iowa State, who was good.
Yeah.
So, but yesterday's results were not a surprise in terms of the final 4 games. Maybe just the fact that Purdue didn't really play very well, but
Braden Smith, not good.
Yeah, now he's gonna have to face.
Kind of weird.
I mean, what are you?
Who are they gonna put on him?
Newton, right?
Anybody?
Well, who's the perimeter player that UConn's most concerned about? I guess, do you really Castle should probably be on Smith, I think, because he's gonna have the ball a lot.
Yeah, I think others can contain Lance Jones and Fletcher Lawyer, probably Cam Spencer, maybe.
Yeah, the thing about Stephon Castle is that he had Shannon.
Yeah. Let's move on. I thought we weren't going to talk about this now.
We're slowing down. It's the comments. Most of these comments suck. That's the problem. All right. Moving I shouldn't have put this first. I messed up.
It's all right. Looking back at our preseason predictions, I think we did this a little bit in the last episode or episode or two ago. But
I think we went over something.
Yeah, I think
that was during the selection show.
It might have been. I don't know. But yeah, I hold on. Let me pull up some stats here. I had them going 9-2 in non-conference games. How'd they go? 9-2? Sounds right. 13-7 in the conference games. I don't think I got them correct though. They went 13-7. 14-6. Yep. 22-9 overall before the tournament. It's got to be close. Anyways, had them projected as a 5 seed, so they beat that. Somebody had them as a 7 seed. Idiot. Leading scorer, I had Terrence Shannon Jr. I guessed 18.4 points per game. He had 23. You also had Terrence Shannon, 17.2. I don't have faith in Terrence.
I thought this team had depth. Turns out they don't.
Yeah. Leading rebounder, I went with Ty Rodgers, 7.6. You went with Quincy Guerrier. Guess who was the leading rebounder?
Marcus Domask.
Quincy Guerrier, 6.1.
There you go. Nailed it.
Assists, no way this is correct. I had Marcus Domask 4.2. You had Marcus Domask 3.9. It was Marcus Domask 3.9.
I mean, look, a lot of people would question the thought, and it's what we do. You gotta be
crazy.
Professional.
That's crazy. Steals, I had Terrence Shannon at 1.5. You had Ty Rodgers at 1.7. It was Coleman Hawkins 1.5.
Yeah, it turns out this team didn't turn like anybody over.
They did not play to turn people over.
Not a lot of steals to be had.
Yeah, and breakout players, you had Danger, I had Rodgers. Meh.
Yeah, I mean, both those guys stink. So
I mean, I guess the real breakout player probably wouldn't been Domask, even though he was a 5th-year guy.
No, yeah.
I don't know who else you would have gave it to.
I mean, since you have to breakout, you kind of got to go with the young guy. I think you got to go with the 1st or 2nd-year guy. So I think you just do a 3-way award. DGL in the early part of the season, Hansberry for a few games, and Moretti for a few games. Those 3 guys.
Okay.
Congrats to them.
Yeah. So, that was us. Sean, this is Ethan. I'm Tyler. It's Ethan.
Yeah, well, it's all right.
Anyways, what else are we going to talk about?
Is this Domask thing real?
Sorry. I don't know. Is it?
I feel like it's never been confirmed by a legitimate reporter yet.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know. Supposedly somebody tweeted out that Marcus Domask has hired a lawyer to try to get an extra year back. I don't see how this is possible because the year he's trying to get back is the COVID year, which he already got back. So I know that the NCAA is struggling against lawyers in court, but I don't know how they make this happen. If they do, I guess we're okay with it. But I want to get your hopes up, is what I'd say. We don't even know if it's true.
Yeah, so. He's played 4 full years and then played 9 games in 21. So
Brandon says none of the 247 guys said anything about the lawyer.
That's why it's not been confirmed, so I don't really know.
Yeah, so I just figured we needed to throw it out there because people are talking about it. For people that might not have heard it, maybe coming back, but I highly doubt this happens. So Eric says it's time for Domask to move on. 6 years, come on.
Well, one of those years he played 9 games. That doesn't count as a full year.
Yeah, but it was also COVID year, right? So
yeah.
Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, even if he does, I think that it's going to be harder to put a team around him like this year's team. They need somebody, maybe not as good as him, but close to that to be able to run an offense with him as successfully as this year. Because if it just turns into Domask ISO ball, who's going to be the guy to fall back on. And you didn't have to do that this year because you had Shannon for most of it. And I know that they looked good. They went 4-2 without Shannon, I think. But, you know, I'd be perfectly okay if Domask is not back. And that's not a shot at him at all. He was the only guy that showed up against UConn. So.
That's true. That's true. Check it out. Says seems like everyone who sues the NCAA wins now. COVID year hinges on definition of the year. It was shortened from 31 games to 26. Odd argument. Yeah, they would have to say that the 5 games that got canceled counted towards it, and he would have to get back the COVID year, which he already got back. So apparently other guys have tried to do this. It didn't work out. So we'll get to Jace Butler, AJ Storr.
Marcus Domask. Marcus Domask is 23, by the way.
Yeah. All right.
How much did Danger get for going to Memphis in NIL money? We'll get there. $20, I heard. All right. Illini get their first transfer portal player candidate. Let's go 1638 for that one. Mercer guard forward Jake Davis. I don't think we ever mentioned him except for in a stream, I think. Like a instant reaction or preview stream or something. He was mentioned
Probably.
at least once. I remember.
We didn't really talk a lot of transfer portal stuff.
That's unbecoming of a team that's in the tournament. Okay?
That's right.
This is now the time when you talk about this stuff and you get on the phone and you're making phone calls, you're texting people, you're wanting to know information. But I mean, Jake Davis, good player. I watched some of the stuff on him. You want to watch the good tape, you want to watch the bad tape.
Yeah. How was the bad tape look is what I want to know. I've seen the good tape.
Yeah, I think there may be some issues when it comes to like if he's gonna come out in a game and shoot the ball not well, you really want a guy that's gonna move around on offense and try to make things happen. And, I don't know if he's a guy you're going to run a lot of stuff for, but I think that might be the best way to use him is to run stuff for him. And we've seen, similar players to him at Illinois or in the Big Ten. And those guys, you can have a lot of success if you use them properly. Like he can shoot. He is pretty good in terms of touch around the rim. He had some bad shooting games. He had some 0 for shooting games, which you're going to have, but this is a guy that if you run stuff for him and he moves around, like he's got the length, he's 6'6", shot at 40% from 3. I think this will be a good get as long as they use him properly, which I think they will. Like he's more than goody, especially as a sophomore.
That's exactly what I was going to ask. Is he just another goody, or do you think he's better?
I think
he has the ability to get to the hoop better. It seemed like in some videos.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit more of a versatile, more useful, does more than goody. Just because like he runs a lot off of screens, you get him off of screens. He'll catch a shit. Like he's not Cam Spencer, but some of the stuff that they do that he did at Mercer reminds me of what Cam Spencer does at UConn. He's not Cam Spencer. He's not as good as Cam Spencer, but there's some traits there. And I think there's a lot there that they can use. And I think this will be very good for him going to Illinois. He, came out of high school. I don't know what his offers were looking like, but he was not ranked. So,
yeah, I don't know if he had a lot of places looking at him, but it seems like he wants to be here. So that's always good. Underwood said, quote, Jake is an elite shooter. He has great size as a wing with the ability to shoot off the move and come off screens. He's a high IQ player who has been well coached and is a winner. Jake is coming off a great freshman season at Mercer. We're excited about adding him to the roster and his future with the program. Do you think his shot gets ruined once Fletch gets him in the gym?
Maybe.
It's always my worry. But
DGL, he played AAU ball with DGL, so he's excited to play with him. Nice. And then a few things from watching some of the stuff with him. Runs around a lot on offense, so he's moving around the perimeter a lot. He's crashing. He's got decent touch around the rim, 62% at the rim, and then shoot it from just about anywhere. And, I think he's more of a handoff and shoot, catch and shoot guy.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to create his own shot, which I think is to be expected when you get a wing from Mercer, who's a freshman. But he's a 3-star transfer according to 247, 0-star out of Indy in the class of 2023, and clearly jumped at the chance to join Illinois because he did so,
very quickly,
3 days or less after the season ended for Illinois. So
yeah. Gary says, after the 3 freshmen, how many portal players are we allowed? We have 3 open spots currently.
Could be 4.
Could be 4 if rumors are true. I don't know where the rumors are coming from, but we'll talk about that here in a minute. So,
yeah, Jake Davis, very exciting.
Yeah,
it'll be a useful player for this team.
I think so too. Yeah, I mean, I always love getting length. So, give me lengthy wings that can shoot the ball. I'll take it.
And he's better than Luke Goody.
Yeah. Dane Danger enters the portal, and then immediately is gone. So I think he went and visited Memphis, and then the next day he announced that he was going to Memphis. So he announced he was going to transfer 5 days ago. He announced his commitment to Memphis 2 days ago. Good luck, Dane. It was fun while you were here. Mid-major domination. I think, playing in the, what is that? The Atlantic
Nope.
ATP
American
or
Athletic.
something? UAA. I don't know.
So what I want to know is if
AAC.
the rumors about Danger being contacted by other teams when Illinois was in the tournament still, number 1, is that true? Number 2, was it Memphis?
Had to be, right?
It feels like it, yeah.
I mean, it was so instantaneous.
Typical
It was announcement.
Completely underachieve with the team and then tamper for Dane. Not even tampering. It's, you do whatever you want. But for Dane Danger, yikes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think as an Illinois fan, I don't know if there's any Illinois fans that didn't see this coming. I mean, people have been talking about it since the middle of the season because Dane didn't get playing time and yada, yada, yada. But I think this is a great move for him. This is where he needs to be. At Hoop Informatics on Twitter had a really good post about Dane. If you don't follow them. They're very good with Illini stuff and numbers and stuff like that. But against high major teams, high major programs, Dane averaged 4.1 points per game, 57% from 2. He was a minus 19 plus minus. He had 16.6% turnover or whatever turnover percentage. And that was in 29 games. Against mid-majors, he averaged 12.8 points per game, 79% from 2. He was plus 123 in the plus minus. His turnovers were down to 7.1 turnover percentage. I think it's like the times you have the ball in 9 games. So if you don't think that this is great for Dane Danger, you're crazy. If you don't think that Illinois is okay to move on from Dane Danger, you're also crazy. So that's my thoughts. And Jeffrey is probably going to be mad or sad or I don't know.
Anybody that looked at Dane Danger at Illinois and didn't think there was a limit to what he could be at this university and in the Big Ten, like, come on. Like, you're not paying attention. Like, there's a limit to that. He's not anywhere near as good as the good bigs or the great bigs in college basketball. Like, he's not a guy that you need to have on the team. Like, we have to have a center. Well, let's make it Dane Danger. I don't know. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. Like, he wasn't – his best games in the tournament were against in this tournament, his best game was against who? Morehead State. What's Morehead State? OVC. Where's the OVC out of the top 32 conferences in KidBomb.com last year? I think 23rd. So, like, it's not a good conference. Morehead State was a fine team, but come on. OVC was 28th, by the way. Sorry, I gave it too much respect. Good luck to him. I mean, he could have left in the middle of the season if he was upset about not playing, and he stuck with it and made an impact down the stretch. But I think this is a good move for both sides, and we'll see if Dane can make it to the tournament with an underachieving head coach.
Yeah, and Dane's a guy that I'm going to be interested in remembering or seeing where he's at, what he's doing, unlike Sky Clark, who wants to transfer again and come back to the Big Ten.
You're going to be seeing Sky Clark quite a bit.
Yeah. Not on purpose, though. So.
Good luck to Dane.
Good luck, Dane.
25-37.
I'm on it. I'm just sorry. We're very professional today for some reason.
Well, I'm trying to put out some videos on the side.
I know.
It's probably going to make the podcast way worse. I'll probably give up on this experiment after one. But either way, I mean, the UConn preview video did pretty decent numbers. So
that's good stuff. Warner says, "Hey fellas, joined late. Great season. Really enjoyed following along with you this year. Appreciate all you do." Thanks, Warner. Appreciate you coming by, hanging out, all the episodes. Cheesang, what's going on? Yes, that's a mid-major. Dane will kill it in the AAC. Dane leaving is a smart move. He can make a bag as well. They got a lot of money in Memphis.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'll remember Dane in his game against TJJ.
They gave him a $20 NIL deal here. So,
how much?
$20.
Oh. Jake says, we joke about Morehead State, but Dane definitely helped us avoid a terrible loss in the first round. I agree. I mean, Dane was huge in that game. So, yeah. Jace Butler, do you want to talk about that now before we go into this?
Yeah, sure. I'm not making a video out of this because it's speculation, but
right. Apparently there's rumors going around on Twitter that Jace Butler is decommitting. I don't know if any of it's true. Ask Jake about it. Yeah, it sounds like Jace wants guaranteed playing time as a freshman, and Illinois obviously can't guarantee that. I mean, when he signed with Illinois, he was a 3-star, right? Yeah. And then now he's moved up to a 4-star. If he's coming to Illinois, it's not like Illinois is Minnesota or I don't want to knock Minnesota, but like bottom of the Big Ten. He couldn't have expected to come in and get playing time, especially the way Brad attacks the portal too. So it's crazy to me that's his reason, but I understand it. I mean, if he wants to go play
my biggest
Dane Danger, I guess he can.
My biggest problem is that Illinois wanted him, and his other offers were Colorado State, Loyola Marymount, UC Santa Barbara, Cal State Fullerton, California Baptist, Drake, Grand Canyon, Idaho, Montana State, New Mexico, Sacramento State, San Jose State, Seattle, UC Davis, University of the Pacific, which is just Pacific. I don't know why it says that, and Wyoming. So Illinois wanted him. They brought him in when he was ranked like 130th or whatever.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he's higher in these subjective rankings, by the way. Yeah. And now he wants guaranteed playing time when I believe the only examples of an Illinois freshman getting legitimate playing time in their first season is either when the team is bad or if you're a top 30 guy like Adam Miller was, Sky Clark, or I guess Curbelo, but Curbelo wasn't getting crazy playing time.
Right.
Good luck. I mean, I like him a lot. I know a lot of people were hesitant on when they brought him in because of who else was offering him, which I just gave you the list. It's pretty much all West Coast with the exception of Drake and Illinois and maybe a couple others that I missed. I hope he goes to I hope he goes to the Mountain West and tears it up. That'd be great for him. But
yeah,
if he is gone, good luck. I don't really. I mean, I think he would have been a good player here, but there's a thing in the business, and he should know this, given that he's gone from 3 to 4 stars, called development.
Right,
and development takes time, and I think it's a good thing that last year's freshmen seemed to understand that. DGL, Hansberry, I think we got to give them credit for that. But if Jace Butler's gone, good luck, son. Good luck.
Yeah. Check it out. Says no decent team can guarantee a freshman playing time.
I mean, depending on the freshman. I know the rankings are subjective and they're not always
like Merez Johnson probably going to get guaranteed playing time.
Yeah.
But there's a difference. Again, we don't know if any of this is true.
Cooper Flag
out there.
Cooper Flag's probably going to get guaranteed playing time at Duke.
Yeah. Gill's kid had the same deal. He had the same situation. I don't know who Cheesang's talking about. What he's talking about.
Phoenix Gill?
Oh, yeah, probably. Jay says, good luck to any freshmen coming on a good team and expect high minutes if you're not a 4 or 5-star player, especially now with college free agency.
He's also like a super low tier 4-star, by the way. Like he's like a fringe.
He's
97th. He's 97th.
Yeah, he just entered 4-star territory. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that would be like RJ and Goody coming and expect him to play high minutes as a freshman. It didn't happen. So
do you think Jack Stee's is expecting guaranteed playing time? I think that's a guy that probably wants to develop.
Yeah, I think Jack Stee's is definitely coming to develop. So Illinois might have 4 open spots for transfers now. We're not really sure, but don't tell them that, Jake. They'll kick you out of them.
I mean, the message boards, I mean, look, say what you will. They are right quite often.
Yeah. Bergie says, I like DGL's I'm staying video. DGL's not going anywhere.
I'm a little worried. The Jeremiah Fears.
Yeah.
I really, really want him to come here, like badly. Like, did you watch him in that game last week?
I watched highlights.
Oh my God.
I didn't get to watch the game. We didn't have ESPNU up in Wisconsin.
Oh my God, he looks unbelievable for a 2025.
You think that he's not going to come?
If he comes to Illinois,
it's very exciting.
If he comes to Illinois and he starts, he's going to be a one and done. From what I saw, holy shit. Everything looks like so advanced for a guy who's a 2025.
It's really smooth, yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. That I will be devastated if he doesn't come to Illinois. Devastation. Do whatever you can to keep him.
Yeah. Ashton Kutcher have any more eligibility? He's a walk-on. Who cares? He probably redshirted this year for sure.
I like rushed to my computer mouse there to see. Look up his recent news.
Fears will start from day one here.
Yeah, are you kidding me? If he looks,
he's like a top 20 though. See, like he should expect to start.
He should be. He's going to be
Jace Butler.
If he continues to play the way that we saw the other night. Oh my God, he's going to be a top 10, which makes me scared that he's not going to come here. But I guess Rutgers got 2 top 10s, so I feel like we still can, But
why not? Why not us? So.
I mean, some of the stuff, though, it's like, oh, my God, that he looks so much better. And I know Adam Miller was great, and I know in high school, and I know Io, but, like, dude, Jace Butler, or not Jace Butler, Jeremiah Fears in his junior year, oh, my God.
Yeah. Why would he not come here? He is committed, right? I mean, Jace Butler has a national letter of intent signed.
Yeah, bit of a difference, but still, yeah.
So, yeah. You got this? All right, other transfer news. That's not the right button. Off-season discussion. I don't know what we're going to discuss about the off-season.
We kind of just did, but we'll do it again. We'll say the exact same words. Run it back.
Run it back. All right. Illini portal targets. I typed this in. I didn't know if this is what you want to go over, but
yeah,
that's what we're going over. Craig Choate. Is that how you say his name? Anybody know? Let me know if I'm wrong. At Craig H.W. Choate. That H might be wrong. I don't know. Anyways, he made an unofficial Google Doc of potential targets. He's got them broke down in guards, wings, and bigs. We'll go through the guards first. Dante Maddox Jr., a 6'2" point guard from Toledo. He has 1 year left. He averaged 14.5 points per game, 4.3 rebounds per game, around 3 assists, 1.5 steals, 44% from 2, 40% from 3. He's currently in Illini's top 8 of schools he wants to go to or is considering. How bad do you want Dante Maddox? I think you want him pretty bad, don't you?
I like him. I mean, he's a point guard. You'll notice a theme in these players that there are a lot of Midwest guys. He's from Chicago Heights, shot at 40% from 3 at Toledo. And if you're going to swing and miss on a Toledo guard like they kind of did last offseason, let's try to do it again this offseason. I mean, if you're looking for a true point guard, this is a good I think this is I think you need a stopgap at the 1 between this season and Fears next season. Or between next season and the season after, I guess, technically, even though, whatever, the 23-24 season's over. But I don't think it's going to happen, but it would make sense if it did. But I don't think Illinois is going to push hard enough to do that. Or do they? I don't think they need to, but
yeah.
I don't think this is a player that you need to go all out for right now. I don't know.
I got you. Still plenty of fish in the sea. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, there's a lot of time left. There's more players that could enter.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, what's the number one priority in the portal right now for this team? Probably another wing.
I would say a big probably.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I really the number one target.
Big.
And we just skipped down here to you didn't even write him down. Why is he not on here? Damn it. Illinois is definitely interested in this guy. This Stanford big, Raynaud.
He didn't have it on the list.
Why is he not on that list? That makes no sense to me. But that should be the number one target right now. That's a 7-1 center who averages 15 and 10 a game in the Pac-12 last year. He's already played 3 seasons at Stanford, 94 games, started 59 of them. Shoots at 55% from the field, 35% from 3, 70% from the free throw line, 6.6 rebounds per game in his career. That should be the number one target. You get a 7-1 big from Stanford who's got a ton of playing time under his belt. A foreign big too, so he can handle the ball and he can do things with the basketball. That should be the number one target if you're looking for a big.
Looks like the chat agrees with you.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, a
lot of people wants him. Somebody else said that. Brandon. Eric. Yeah. Sure.
They're definitely interested in him too, by the way.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they're interested in a lot. This is just what the guy had on the thing.
Yep.
Can't help it. Other guards, Marcus Hill, 6'4", combo guard from Bowling Green. He's got a year left. Averaged 20.5 points per game, 5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 1 steal, shot at 44% from 2, 29% from 3. He's apparently been contacted and there's interest in him. I don't know about this guy. I mean, his numbers 20 points per game is great, but it was at Bowling Green. But his numbers just don't seem to pop to me. So
he's got much more of a Domask profile. If you're looking for a replacement, guy that doesn't shoot a high percentage from 3, does a lot of his damage inside the 2-point or inside the 3-point line. I'm not too concerned about stats in other conferences, probably with these guys, but I think averaging 20 points anywhere is good, to be fair. But yeah, this is not. I don't think it's going to happen. I know there's a report, quote unquote. That guy also said Store was coming here, which Store is not coming here. I would be shocked if that happens. But by the way, 219 twos and 25 threes made by Marcus Hill last year. So he gets to the foul line quite a bit, shot 208 free throws, and played a ton of minutes.
He's from Rockford. So
yeah, another guy that's from the area.
Big part of it. Last guard he had was Selton Miguel, 6'4" combo guard from South Florida. He also has a year left. He averaged 14.5 points per game, 3.2 rebounds, 2.2 assists, 1.2 steals, shot 41% from 2, 39% from 3. Illinois has reached out to him. Seems like a shooter, so that's good. He wasn't much of a shooter early on in his career, 22%, 20%, 33%, and then shot 39 this year. So
I think you'll notice that he did absolutely nothing in terms of quality production at Kansas State in his first 2 years, and ended his season against VCU on March 24th. And I guess that was some sort of postseason tournament. He had 4 points on 2 of 12 shooting. I'm good on this one. If they're going to get a 5th-year guard, this is not the one that I would want.
Yeah. Wings, of course, already got one. The other one on there was AJ Store. Do you want AJ Store? Do we want AJ Store? I wanted him like mid-season of Big Ten play, but I don't think I want him anymore.
I am very much in the camp at this point of if he decides to come here, fine
Sure.
by me. We'll see. I mean, he's got a Big Ten experience. He's really good. Like the numbers speak for themselves. He's a very good basketball player. I think with the right offense, I think he could be even better. Like I just don't like what Wisconsin does offensively. I know offensively they were good this year in a lot of the season. I don't like what they do offensively, and I don't think it was good for Store. I think it was good for playing time and developing more. But like Brandon said there, I don't think he's gonna transfer in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
And like Illinois fans, like we don't have to jump on every player that enters the portal. Like I know Store was committed here, he decommitted here. Who cares? Like it's over. We shouldn't. I don't know why people want him so bad. I have little to no interest in pursuing him. If I'm Illinois, coaching staff, you got to make a call, I guess, do your due diligence. But I don't think you have to go out of your way to try to make it happen. Like Store should just like go to I don't know, the Big 12 somewhere, or go to the ACC or go to the Big East again. See it. SEC would probably be a perfect conference for him.
Yeah. He's
go to Tennessee. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think Illinois is going to go after him. There's supposedly a report that they wanted $1 million from Kansas and they offered him $750 and he said no. So I mean, if he's going to go chase money, let him go chase money somewhere. But I don't think that helps your team out at all. So. Yeah. The three bigs he had, again, he didn't have the Stanford guy. He also had John L. Davis on this, which I haven't heard anything about Illinois even contacting him. I'm guessing he'll end up at Michigan, but we'll talk about that later. But the three bigs, Pharrell Payne, you guys know him, 6'9" from Minnesota. He's got 2 years left. He averaged 23 minutes a game, 10 points per game, 6 rebounds. 1.2 assists, 1.4 blocks, shot at 60% from 2. Didn't take a 3 all year, I don't believe. I don't know how interested Illinois is in Payne. I thought Payne got a lot better as the season went on last year. So I wouldn't mind him. I just don't I don't know if he's the dominant big he might need. So
I feel like Amani Hansberry can do some of the same
he
stuff.
Does. Yeah.
Payne's a little more advanced, though. He'll be in his third year, but Hansberry is a similar profile to me.
Yeah. Hansberry puts on a little bit more muscle. I think him and Payne are the same guy.
6'9", 255 for Payne, 6'8", 225 for Hansberry. So Hansberry can add 20 in the offseason. I think that could be good. I mean, the big thing with Payne is the rebounding. And there was some offensive prowess shown in certain games down the stretch. I think he had – what's shocking to me is that Pharrell Payne against Michigan State on March 14th had 7 turnovers. How is that possible for a guy who has the ball as little as he does?
Yeah, that's crazy.
But, I mean, he ended if that's it for him at Minnesota, he ended it with they lost to Indiana State on March 24th, but he had 16 points on 7 of 13 shooting and 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. So he's a good player. I think he should go to a different conference, though.
Yeah, I agree. Kerry Booth, 6'10" center from Notre Dame. He's got 3 years left. He played just under 19 minutes per game, averaged 6.5 points, 4.3 rebounds, a half of an assist a game, a half of a block a game, 39% from 2, 30% from 3. I didn't really look at this guy. He's a tall, lanky guy, right? Am I crazy? He's not like very thick.
Yeah, he's 205 or 6'10", 203.
Okay.
So that's tiny, by the way.
Tiny.
It is. Like Coleman Hawkins is like 225.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't understand the interest here unless you think you can develop them. I mean, it's a long-term thing. Like even coming out of high school, he was a 4-star, 47th overall, or he was a 4-star, 55th overall. He's 47th overall in the portal. But like, I think it's a development thing. I think you still need 2 years out of him probably before you can get any. I think if his dad is the GM of the Denver Nuggets. I think he should go to the state of Colorado and play. Go play at Colorado or go play at Colorado State. I think Illinois is probably like we see the upside.
Yeah.
I don't know how much we would use him. I don't think Kerry Booth is going to go to Illinois because I don't think he's going to – if he played that many minutes at Notre Dame, he's not going to play 20 a game at Illinois, I don't think, unless he makes a huge leap from year 1 to year 2. But Illinois doesn't – I don't think Illinois is in a position to develop even more guys, especially the guys you want to develop are the guys you bring in out of high school and the guys you bring in as freshmen or, 18, 19-year-olds. So I don't see this one happening either.
So you think Brad's going to mainly go after guys with a year left? Rather, I mean,
no, I think.
I mean, of course, Jake Davis doesn't have a year left.
I know. But. I think it's going to be guys that have a couple years under their belt. What I said, you said both, and then I heard both. I added a th to belt, an extra t as well. But no, I think you don't really want to approach it that way. You don't really want to go all 1 year guys. Like obviously their guard targets here are all 1 year left guys, but the big targets are maybe that says something. This Maxime Reynaud from I don't know if it's Reynaud or Reynaud. I mean he's French, so it's probably Reynaud or
right.
Reynaud. But he's a junior, 3rd year. So would he have the COVID year? I don't even know. I'm so confused on that. So he only have 1 or 2 left at the most. So that should be the guy, though, the Stanford big. If you're looking at any big, that's got to be the guy. Like the next guy is Xavier Amos, 6'8" forward, Northern Illinois, 2 years left. Look, do we really want a 6'8"? Like, what's he gonna do? Like, is
this a Coleman Hawkins replacement? Is what I
think it's more of a Quincy replacement.
Okay.
Like 6. If he was averaging 3 assists a game, I'd say more so. You could say both, but 6'8", that's the same height as Quincy. 39% from 3, similar. I mean, fine if they need a guy to play the 4 next year right away, right? That'd be interesting.
Yeah,
I'm good on. I feel like I don't know. Does this take minutes away from Merez? Possibly. I don't know. Who knows? You definitely need guys in front of them, though. You don't want to go into the season with your 2 bigs, being Hansberry and Johnson.
I would agree. Yeah, I would agree. But
I'm okay with this if you're going to use him the way they use Quincy. I haven't watched him play very much, though, so I need to see how he plays. Like the numbers, the profile, the height, all reminds me of Quincy.
Right.
But you got to see him play first.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. It seems like everybody wants Illinois to get the guy from Stanford. So
that's the guy, I'm telling you.
Brandon said Amos is very solid.
So. By the way, this Danny Wolf out of Yale that people mentioned earlier, I can just throw this one out there for everybody right now. That's a 0% chance right here. Danny Wolf, I believe, entered the portal with a no contact next to his name.
Yeah.
And I think if he can get into Michigan, which I think he will get into Michigan, I think he's going to go to Michigan.
Yeah.
Which is a great get for them. That's a guy that does a lot of different things on the offensive side. Plus, he's coming from Yale. There's no way he's not going to get into Michigan from an admission standpoint, right? Yeah, he's going to go to Michigan, which, for Michigan, it's pretty much either Wolf or Vlad. So yeah. I don't think they're going to get both. If they do, then fine. But I would just take Wolf and run with it if you're Dusty. But whatever. Is there any other targets? I mean, this Evansville guy, did he commit somewhere?
It didn't say that Illinois was interested. I don't know. There's something about it that
says status unknown.
Yeah. So
interest, yes, though.
Okay.
According to Illinois Rivals, they've contacted or done something, but I mean, his name is Ben Hummershaus.
Okay.
42% from 3 or 41.4, I guess. 14.7 points per game. Good offensive player, which is to be expected, I would say, from coming out of Evansville in that conference. A lot of good offensive talent in the Missouri Valley. Who knows? I mean, Illinois had success. The Big Ten as a whole had success bringing in transfers from that conference. You look at Iowa with whatever his name is. You look at Lance Jones. So
yeah. All right.
Very exciting. Very exciting. Right?
Yeah.
So there's your transfer portal targets. It's going to be a long video right there. 50-18.
50-18.
Boom.
Professionals.
Man, what a choke by Akshay here at the Texas Open. I don't know if it's a choke more so than Denny McCarthy just going out and getting it. Man, that's tough. Either way, man, that sucks for Akshay. I'm a fan.
Boswell.
No.
You want him so bad.
No.
He hasn't even entered the portal yet, has he?
It's coming, I think.
I mean, that one guy that keeps predicting stuff predicted it.
Do you know who Boswell kind of reminds me of in terms of how it might go at Illinois? His name rhymes with Lark is what his name rhymes with. So,
yes, he has.
I was going to say, if he hasn't yet, it's coming. I don't remember. I thought I saw it too, but
all I remember is the one from that one random account. But
Boswell.
I believe you guys. You guys know more than I do. So
Kylan Boswell just finished the season so horribly where it makes me concerned. Oh, we're going to a playoff.
Yeah, like this is the only thing I see, the Sportscast Productions.
5 points, 2 points, 4 points, 20 points, 2 points, 3 points. And the 20 was against Long Beach State. He struggled. I know he shot 38% for the season. He had a good season, but man, like, I don't – do we really want to do this? Like, this is a guy we lost out on. I get these from the area. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I probably am wrong, honestly. Like, to bring in a guy who's got 2 years of experience at Arizona and played in the tournament both years, I don't know.
All right. I don't know do you want to talk about the tournaments? I really don't care.
Sure, why not? It seems like you want to talk about it, so why the hell
I don't want to
talk
now,
about it?
though.
No, we're talking about it. We'll talk about the women's tournament since you want to talk about it so bad.
Any of you morons that think that you shouldn't call a moving screen at the end of the game because you got to let the players decide, you're morons. How's that sound? You guys are morons, absolute morons. What happens if UConn scores or if UConn's fouled and they don't call that foul or they call that foul? You just going to let the refs decide it then? You guys are idiots.
I think there's one counter argument to this that makes sense, and it's that the illegal screen rule, I think, is a problem in the sense that, like, it's so inconsistently called. And there's illegal screens on like almost every possession in basketball. And this one, yes.
Not that egregious, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's an illegal screen with also a good sell job. Like, that was a bad route by the Iowa defender.
Yeah. I do have to agree that afterwards she said I was on her hip, so I knew it was a moving screen. She wasn't close to her hip. So yeah, I will say that. But.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just hate the idea that I've always been an ally. I don't like non-egregious calls happening late in games. Maybe I'm wrong here. I don't know. I just like to see the game be decided there. Also, I think it's just dumb for UConn to run that. Like, just give the ball to one of your best players and let them go.
That's true. I just don't. Do you complain if Paige Beckers gets hit on the wrist and they call it and she makes 2 free throws, or they don't call it? I mean, where do you draw the line?
Free throws, I guess,
But where do you draw the line where the ref should swallow the whistle?
I just think that, like, unless it's like a smack or an illegal screen where you, I don't know, like,
it's not like she knocked her down and opened her up. I understand that.
It was a good sell job, but it wasn't a great one. Like, she didn't fall or anything. Like, I just feel like, I don't know. Like, the women's game's being talked about a lot more, and it just sucks that you have a Final Four game like that end on a whistle.
It's true.
When we don't want the refs to get involved, and they do. Like, they were calling some – I don't think women refs, not the woman refs, but like the refs who officiate the women's game.
Yeah.
I don't think they know how to call anything under the rim. They were calling some insane – they were letting things go on rebounds and then not letting it go on others, especially today.
Yeah.
And South Carolina is obviously a better team. South Carolina is just more athletic and just better. What a shame. Iowa had the best women's player in a long time and didn't win a national championship. What a shame. so sad for Iowa. I don't give a fuck about Iowa. Yeah, I don't know. I would have rather seen UConn. I thought UConn was, I don't know. Also, I think it's completely unfair the way that these WNBA players are complaining about Caitlin Clark. Like, that is insane.
It's crazy. But
I mean, the game to be talked about more. Now you're going to take the most popular player maybe ever and just tear her down because she goes to Iowa or she's not.
And they were playing UConn. I mean, that was kind of part
lame,
of it too. You got all UConn girls mad.
Also, Breonna Stewart won 4 titles at UConn, but she's great, but she had
13 WNBA players on her team.
Yeah,
13.
Come on. Caitlin Clark's taking a bunch of bums to the championship game 2 years in a row. Either way, I mean, Illinois women's team winning the WBIT. Woo, beating Villanova.
Apparently, that's the women's equivalent of the NIT now. So it's actually the second best tournament. So anybody that says that it's not is also an idiot.
They got some returning players. Yeah, they're returning some players too.
Yeah, so. Genesis Bryant's coming back.
Maybe they'll get back in the tournament next year. They better.
Tall girl in the middle.
Bostic,
yeah.
They got to get Shauna Green. Shauna Green's got to go thin ice if they don't make the tournament next season. Got to get back in there.
That's true. But they started playing some good basketball towards the end. So I watched that game. It was a good game. Fun. Nice to see. So
yeah, and the Big Ten had a chance for a triple crown with Michigan winning the national championship in football. Would have had the women's champion at Iowa, and if Purdue won, that would have been 3 for 3. Would have been great for the conference, but I think we're going to end up going 1 for 3. And that's where we talk about the national championship game tomorrow night, which we'll do a short preview tomorrow, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Then we'll do a recap after the game, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. That'll probably be on the other stuff, even though we could do it on this channel. But I just feel like it's weird if we don't separate it with the whole Illini thing. UConn, Purdue.
Yeah. Illinois is also getting a 5-star.
Really? Wow. Let me do some research there. But what were your thoughts on the fact that I got the national championship game correct? Your thoughts?
I mean, I got it correct on all my brackets, but the stupid one we did with the people of the show.
What about the fact that I went into the season, my rankings for teams, I had Purdue 1, UConn 2. So another hit for me there.
You're maybe the best around.
No, that's too much, but I understand where you're coming from.
That might expose a bunch of people. First place.
Which one's that?
This is for my niece's softball team.
Oh, so you're going up against a bunch of people who don't know ball.
No, I got Purdue. If Purdue wins, I end up losing. But I had 3 Final Four teams: Alabama, UConn, and Purdue. Thank you. And then in the one for Edgewood, I have UConn, Purdue, but I have Purdue winning. So I have UConn winning one of them, and I have Purdue winning the other one. So I'm a genius.
Illinois women's team has the number 20 player coming in.
Nice.
Barry Wallace. So she was in the McDonald's All-American game for the women. So
nice.
Yeah, UConn Purdue should be a great game. Should be a great game.
Yeah.
I'll be curious to see I think right now, if you take away the old guard and the guys who have been around forever, which Painter has been around forever, I think these are the 2 best coaches in the game right now in terms of what they're running, the personnel, the just everything. Like, these are the 2 best. So that's going to be interesting. Like, if you watch, how are they going to the chess match, so to speak, with Hurley and Painter. Like, UConn runs some unbelievable stuff. Like, just the way, the high-low stuff, the stagger screens, the way they run Spencer around. You get shots for Caravan, Spencer. Those guys are making them. You're in trouble. Especially with, Tristan Newton hasn't been elite in this tournament for the most part, based on how he was this season. But if he gets going, man, I mean, his best game in the tournament was Northwestern. He had 20, and he went 0 for 6 from 3. So he hasn't been swinging a hot bat if this were baseball. But yeah, the concern and the entire if you look at the history of this sport, I think the perimeter that UConn has is what's going to win them the game against Purdue. Because usually, and I believe Ant Wright tweeted this, you need a perimeter pro to win a national championship. And I don't think Purdue has one. I think UConn has one with Castle.
Yeah.
So that'll be tough. And I just think UConn matches up so well against Purdue. It's crazy. And their bench players are better too. Like, Colvin and Gillis are not better than what Samson Johnson and Diarra are for UConn. So, and I don't think that either of these teams are a reflection of their conference, by the way. Like, I know I keep tweeting Big Ten, but I don't think that we can sit there and be like, oh, Big East, Big Ten, look at these conferences. I don't think that matters at all in this game. I just think these are two really, really good teams that have been developing, and one of them obviously won one last year, and the other one was tracking for this. And teams that lose to 16 seeds are 11-0 in the tournament combined the year after. So
yeah. Check it out. Says Purdue is pretty good at hitting the threes. Yeah, Purdue's. I mean, Flopper Lawyer has been shooting pretty well in the tournament. Lance Jones just seems to hit timely threes after timely threes, and UConn's kind of been struggling from three. I don't know what they ended
40% last night, but
okay. They started off brutal in that game.
Yeah,
right?
17% against Illinois, 38% against San Diego State, 13% against Northwestern, and then 37% against Stetson. So it's kind of been every other game.
And I asked you, I don't know how deep we want to go into this. Do you think
deep.
Purdue having a bad game against NC State's good or bad for them? Because you gave me a wishy-washy answer when I asked.
What did I say? I said it was probably not good.
Probably not good.
Yeah, I think
stick by that.
Yeah, I think what Purdue's going to have to do.
Smith is going to play with a little fire in his belly after that terrible performance.
Yeah, but I think what Purdue fans are going to realize tomorrow is that Tristan Newton is better than Braden Smith. I think they're going to realize that. They think Braden Smith's like the best guard in the country, and he's not. He's good, but come on.
Yeah, he was.
The more I think about it, I hope UConn beats them by fucking 40. I don't. I'm not dealing with Purdue fans having ammunition. Like, basically, it's going to come down to this: they're going to need to hit 7, 8, or 9 threes, maybe 10 at a decent percentage, and Edey's going to have 30.
And can he do that against Klingon and
probably not?
What's the other guy's name? Johnson.
Yeah, Samson Johnson's only 6'10", I think, but he jumps like 50 feet in the air.
He's so long. Yeah.
Yeah.
If Klingon can guard Edey decently, UConn guards will feast.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like UConn's perimeter is so much better. Like, Alex Caravan is going to be just fine against TKR if they give the ball to TKR. Like, that's not a concern at all. TKR is not going to be able to have 20 like he did against Illinois in January.
And has Edey played against a Klingon type center yet? I mean, that could possibly get him in foul trouble. I know Edey, when he's not in position, he doesn't foul, but he's going to have a guy banging at the hoop with him, not trying to hit fadeaway jumpers like Burns did.
I don't think there's any other big in the country like
Klingon. Yeah,
Klingon. The way that Klingon moves his feet, like, races guys. Yeah. Like, there was a play where he got behind a little bit and still just blocked the shit out of it. That was like, if UConn gets 2 or 3 stops in a row, they just turn into a different level. Like, we saw that against Illinois. They were getting a ton of stops, and they turn those into points all the time. Yeah. It's not turning turnovers into points. It's turning the momentum of getting a defensive rebound or a Klingon blocking a shot into points, which is what they do so well.
And I assume that Painter's going to want to slow this game down, right? I mean, that's
but the UConn can play that way.
I know, but Purdue, I don't feel like Purdue plays that way very well.
The numbers would indicate different things.
Yeah,
like UConn's 328th in tempo and Purdue's 211th. But the way they play, I agree. Like, I don't think UConn, especially with Edey, I think Klingon runs the floor better than Edey. So.
Yeah.
Even if neither of the bigs is in foul trouble, I just think it's going to be so, like, Purdue's just going to have to make a ton of shots, and You know what? Here's what I'll say about UConn, and pardon my French when I use this term, but UConn's team has a bunch of motherfuckers, dude. Like that team. Cam Spencer is a complete dickhead, but he's so good. And Carabin, like they're so confident. Like it's a completely different level.
So it's only French when you put mother in front of it? It's okay.
I was prepared to curse, so I wanted to throw it out there.
Yeah. She's saying those Bama shot lights out and still
they were 8 for 11. Yeah. 8 for 11 from 3 in the first half, and they were down 2 possessions.
But they didn't. They had like no points in transition, which is
they made 15. They made 15 twos. That's not enough. Like you got to make more twos. And if you look at Purdue against NC State yesterday, they made 12 twos. So they're gonna have to up that. That's going to be a concern. They got to do what they did to Tennessee, which is make 21 twos. But I don't know if you can beat UConn's. Got to be really bad for you to beat them if you only make 3 threes.
Yeah. How come nobody's made fun of Ethan's mustache yet, by the way?
Definitely should. It looks horrific. I mean, it's going to be gone. And the hair is going to be gone, too, next time you see me. So.
Oh, man.
It's season's over. Got to reset.
It's true. Got to get ready for baseball season.
Yeah, well, who cares about that sport? That sport sucks. What do you think the ratings are going to be like for this game? Probably huge ratings tomorrow night.
If it wasn't at 8:30 at night.
That doesn't matter. They're going to get huge ratings.
You don't think like Jeffrey and Imbrot and Gary are all going to be asleep by then?
Well, that's 2 people.
That was 3, but sure.
3. It's 8:20. Relax. 8:20.
8:20. The game today was supposed to start at 2. It started at 2:15. There's no way it starts at 8:20.
They should have made it 7:20.
Like, why is it so late?
Let me pull up some ratings and let's see if you think they'll beat them. I remember there was the Gonzaga Baylor game. I think did big numbers. And remember a lot of these
last year.
A lot of these recent games have been. A lot of these recent games have been this time, 8:20. So I can't find last year's.
NCAA sucks at scheduling.
All right, here we go. Here we go. It's not working. Jesus, come on. It's just showing me the highest rated. Okay. I can't get last year, but I can do every year after or before.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's not giving me. Okay, I can get 2021.
Go ahead. I'll look.
2021 had 17 million. 2019 had 19.6 million. Villanova, Michigan, 2018 had 15.9. 2017, North Carolina, Gonzaga, 23 million. The last time UConn was in it, they played Kentucky. That was 21 million. Brands matter a lot. Like
last year was a ratings low. That's probably why I can't find it. 14.6.
Yeah, they're gonna. I think they'll be at least 17. Right? I mean, UConn, Purdue, like UConn's a brand, and Purdue's like San Diego State last year. Who the hell wanted to watch that? Especially UConn. UConn's got to be a bigger draw this year.
Yeah,
they got 36 wins.
It should be huge. I think
they were a 4 seed last year. Yeah, I think it'll be
1 versus 2, right? I mean,
I think it'll be right around 2019 Virginia Texas Tech, which is 19.6 million. And the intrigue with Virginia then was that they lost to a 16 seed last year, the year before. So that's Purdue as well.
Yeah.
And Texas Tech's not a big brand, but this will outdo a lot of the recent ones. But the biggest one in the last 15 years is 2015 Duke Wisconsin, 28 million. So I don't think they'll do that, but
that's a lot.
North Carolina, Illinois. The last time we got, not the last time, but one of the last times we got the 2 best teams was 23.895 million. North Carolina, Illinois, 05. So
okay,
it'll be good. It'll be good. And the problem is that it's 620 local because they decided to have the Final Four in the national championship game in Arizona.
True.
Glendale, which is a shithole, but I've never been there, so I wouldn't know, but I've heard.
Bootsell said they do the late starts for West Coast, unfortunately. Well, that's true. They're not going to start at 5:20 in Arizona.
The Super Bowl always starts real early.
It's true, but it's on a Monday.
Huskies 6.5-point favorites in the latest Purdue UConn odds from Sportsline consensus, while the over/under for a total point score is 145.5. I would say UConn and the over.
by 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to give away your prediction because
it's early. I think I'm up to 83-72 now.
Okay.
Regular season NBA sucks, especially on a Monday. Nobody's watching that. All right, around the Big Ten. Around the Big Ten, 110-33. 33.
That's a lot of typing.
3 notable coaches have been hired by Big Ten schools in the past couple weeks. Michigan bringing in Dusty May from FAU. Washington adding Danny Sprinkle from Utah State, who I believe has made the tournament the last 3 years. He made it at Utah State in 1 year and then made it at Montana State 2 years in a row, I believe. So a good coach there, proven builder, proven go into the portal and get guys, because that's what he did at Utah State this year. So this is his 6th. He'll be going into year 6 as a head coach, 3rd different school, but you're moving up there in the Big Ten. And then a big one here, USC, the Must Bus coming to the Big Ten. USC bringing Eric Musselman, which I think this can't be looked at as anything other than a big upgrade for USC with Infield leaving for SMU, bringing the Must Bus, who I don't understand why there are Arkansas fans who don't like him. Like, he got to a Sweet 16 and two Sweet 16s and Elite 8.
They're saying that he's downgrading, I guess, going from Arkansas to USC. I don't know.
He might be. I don't know.
The same guy that said Boswell's in the transfer portal said that Brad Underwood talked to USC and he was leaving. So
that's another problem, yeah. But let's just say this while we're here. Hate to break it to everybody. By the way, 2 Elite 8s and a Sweet 16 and a Sweet 16 in Nevada. The guy can coach. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, God, he went 6-12. They lost a ton from last season. Not every team is going to recover from losing.
Rebuild immediately, yeah.
Yeah, and they went all portal pretty much. And Devo Davis didn't have the year that everybody expected. Anyway, I hate to break it to everybody. Taxes aside, I would rather live in Southern California than fucking Arkansas. Okay? Take that.
That's fair.
I think Muss felt the same way.
Yeah, I think his family wants to be there too. So
who the hell wants to live in Arkansas, dude? Like, come on. Oh, God, I'm going to throw up just thinking about it.
Eric. Sorry.
By the way, Eric Musselman before this year had 8 straight 20-plus win seasons. So that doesn't seem too bad. Made the tournament 3 times at Nevada in 4 years, 3 times to Arkansas in 5 years. Elite 8 2021, Elite 8 2022, Sweet 16 2023. Plus, you're bringing in Mick Cronin, who I know they had a bad year last year. I think he can coach. Did a good job at UCLA. They got to the Final Four. See if they can reload a little bit. Bringing Sky Clark, great start. Sky Clark, proven winner, of course.
He cooked Cronin the last time they played. So
Sky Clark was only a part of one of the worst stretches of Illinois basketball in the last 5 years of Underwood, and then a terrible Louisville team. But yeah, the guy can straight up win. But an actual winner as a coach is Dana Altman, also coming in obviously to Oregon. So coaching in the Big Ten is getting stronger. I mean, you look right now, you got Matt Painter, who's one of the best. You got Brad Underwood, who's obviously built up this program. You got Fred Hoiberg, who can certainly coach. You got Chris Collins, who coaches really well with his personnel. You got Greg Gard, who's as mid gets. Has ruined what Wisconsin was a great program, and now they're disgusting to watch. You got Izzo, obviously, in the mix. You got Fran, who's a good offensive coach. You got Woodson, who I think is a good basketball coach, but, the results haven't been what they need to be. You got Diebler, who's unknown. That's why I didn't add him on this list. You got Rhodes, who's a good coach when you want to be scrappy. I don't know if he's a coach taking to the next level. You got Willard, who I think is a good coach. You got Ben Johnson, who's finally turned Minnesota into something, competitive. And I don't know what Ben Johnson is as a coach. I think he's a good – these guys are all good basketball coaches. They all know basketball way more than I do. But I think Peichel's a great coach, and then Dusty May I think is a good coach as well. So this might be the most loaded the Big Ten's ever been with coaching.
Yeah, I would agree. Some would say it's elite.
Top three coaches in the Big Ten now going into next year. Go.
Just putting me on the spot here. Matt Painter.
Yeah.
Man.
Can I get weird and piss people off at the same time?
I'm gonna say probably Cronin too. And then Brad Underwood.
I was gonna go Painter 1. Painter 1, Sprinkle 2, Underwood 3.
Sprinkle, huh?
No, I was gonna say Musselman, but then I got scared. I went even crazier and went with Sprinkle. No, I don't know. It's hard. I think the only obvious is that Painter's the best.
I think so too. I would have to agree with that.
Speaking of Michigan, which I think Dusty May is going to end up being a good hire there. I don't know how good, but I think that it'll be cleaner. In terms of I think you'll know what to expect more from his teams.
Yeah.
Because Jawan brought in a ton of talent, but it's just if they didn't have a lottery pick or a player to the level of Wagner, or Dickinson, it's that team was just so all over the place this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last 2 years, really. Last 3 years. They barely got in the tournament 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So,
I think, he brings a lot of stability for sure.
Doug McDaniel left Michigan for K-State, which is very smart given the academics that the issues he had this year by getting suspended. So, I mean, it looked like Tang might leave for Arkansas there for a little bit, but that's not happening. So, I think this would be good for him. I mean, Jerome Tang has a great track record with guards because he was at Baylor. You know how many guards they've produced. And then K-State obviously had really good guards last year. So, I think that'll be good for him. Speaking of Minnesota, Dawson Garcia returning to Minnesota. That's a huge, huge piece there. And I think it makes sense given the fact that Payne is going to be gone. Garcia is going to be the focal point of the offense.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the status is of their other guys, such as Christie, but they could be a scrappy team once again this year as long as the pieces fall into place.
Has Christie said he's going to the NBA or anything?
I haven't heard anything, but I also
seen
don't check Twitter enough.
That's true.
What do you think about the fact that Christie went 1 for 4, 2 for 9, 0 for 3, 3 for 7, 2 for 8, 1 for 5 from 3 after just torching Illinois? Couldn't shoot after going 6 for 9 against Illinois. That sucks.
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of FAU starters in the portal. I'm just wondering how many go to Michigan. So I don't know. I think if Michigan gets Wolf, I don't really know why they would want Golden as well. You really want 2 7-footers, especially when I just don't think Golden is that great. I don't know. It's just me. I don't like watching him play at all. John L. Davis, Elijah Martin, those guys all have the opportunity to go to Michigan. We'll see. But that'll be interesting to watch what Dusty May does in terms of roster building. They've already lost a couple guards from last year's team. Not that it matters. I think they also lost George Washington III. Yeah, Wolf definitely capable of playing the stretch forward type role. Who knows? I don't know. It's gonna get weird. That's what the portal is.
Yeah. Boo Booey won a Defensive Player of the Year award. So congrats to Boo for being a defensive phenomenon in the Big Ten.
Being the third or fourth best defensive player on his team.
It's so weird, but
Northwestern just comes up and tweets all these fake awards like Ty Berry sportsmanship. Give me a break. I hate Northwestern. I hate Northwestern. God, that's disgusting the way they behave.
Disgusting. Yeah. So a lot to look forward to next year. See you guys next year.
Yeah, it'll be good. Yeah. That was the Big Ten segment right there. 1:18:31.
Take care of that.
Boom.
But yeah, for anybody that's new, that just started, following us this year and stuff, the off season kind of gets a little iffy. We kind of just do shows whenever we feel like it, but we'll let you guys know. Stick with us, stay around. We'll still be here, not going anywhere. If you're new, hit the subscribe button, all that stuff. And I guess I need to read this ad one more time. I don't even know how long our contract's for with these people.
We'll do another one.
As always, want to thank Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon at 700 East Broadway Avenue in Mattoon, Illinois. You can find them online at www.alamo-steakhouse.com. Their March specials, it's April. Their April specials are here. So go online. You can find all their specials there. They have happy hour on weekdays from 4 to 6, $2 wells and domestics, $3 Eucalypts and margaritas, $5 wine, specialty martinis. If you guys would like to be a sponsor for our episodes or our watch parties next year, please reach out to us at Illini Basketball Podcast at gmail.com, or you can DM us on Twitter/X. Again, like, subscribe, share, comment, all that stuff. We appreciate you guys all season long. It's been a fun season to cover, and hopefully next year will be the same. But we'll be back. And
yeah, check out the Twitter at Podcast Illini if you want to see me call a Boilermaker fan a fuckface, which was rightfully done, by the way.
So I was gonna say you always see what Ethan's up to on Twitter over at the podcast page. So, but
there you go.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Cheesang. Check it out. Thank you. Embrats, thank you. As always, Eric. Everybody that comes out, we appreciate you. Wyatt, thanks for coming out. So Sky Clark's a bum. Bootzilla, thanks, man.
Nice kid.
Appreciate you guys. And we'll see how the brackets are doing. If you guys win that and you actually like talk to us and interact with us, let us know. I'll send you guys something special. So
there you go. All right, we'll see everybody sometime. I mean, if you want to see national championship preview recap tomorrow, you could do that. Yep. And